Vaya, señoras y señores, welcome back. It is me, your boy, your host, He Bot. And I'm excited to be able to have the privilege, thanks to my brother and from another mother, my Latino assassin, the ghost with the most, Ghost Rider 730, for doing me the honor and doing me the courtesy of letting me host a new episode of We Got Next. I'm having some problems with my mixer and in my internet service at home. Kids are home, as you know, all still doing the college thing, still doing the class things. So it's too much traffic and it's not allowing me to do my thing on mixer like I normally do. So Ghost was so gracious to, like always, look out for me, take and have my back, and said, "Yo, you can host it on my channel. It's no problem." So I will tweet it out. Hopefully, you guys see. Hopefully, you guys come in and tune in as we are live, and we're gonna talk a little bit about gaming, what's going on. So, Ghost, first and foremost, my brother, I'm so humbled and so grateful to have your kindness as always, and extension of your heart and your hands to allow me to present the show on your channel. I appreciate you for that, my brother. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime, my brother. Like I said, I'm
Thank
here
you.
to help.
Yeah, I know, brother. So how you been, Ghost? How's everything? How's everything going on with you?
Ooh, everything's been all right, man. Still quarantining and making sure that I'm healthy, making sure it's all right, making sure my wife is okay, and going to work and working hard, man. Trying to get money.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm grateful that you took the time because I know you get tired. I know you work still every day because you
yeah,
are an essential worker. Ghost builds buildings and things like that for the future and for offices and people. So he is an essential worker. So I'm very grateful you took the time out to rock out and talk a little gaming. And I hope everybody in your family and you as well are in good health. That's what matters. And um, anybody that comes in after the fact as well to see the show, or even us, where some people that try to invite or extend the invite that comes in, then you just join us and we'll go from there. So first of all, Ghost, have you been playing anything as of recently, or you still on the Mount?
as of recently, let me be
Yeah,
honest. I've been playing on Mount Warband,
Mount War.
and I
That's what it's
just
called, Mount
finished.
Warband.
Yeah, I just finished. I didn't even think I was gonna do it, but I ran up on Ragnar's Kingdom, Cybergoth or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
took it over. I seized the castle when I took it over. But I've been playing 2K, man. I've been hitting them parks in 2K hard with my cousin Smooth A1 and my cousin Reverse A1. So I've been hitting the streets hard over there on 2K. Like I said, man, I got a three-man, team. If y'all want to see us, y'all can see us on the courts, All call outs is mandatory.
You
If y'all want it,
oh you
send me an
you play in the
invite.
parks?
Yeah, I play in the parks, man. I get it in
Okay.
with my two cousins.
Well, Ghost, I gotta ask you a favor real quick. Before we go any further,
Go ahead.
do am I coming in all right? The sound is coming in okay.
Yes,
The
you are.
sound okay, quality. If I break up, please let me know because I can never tell my end.
You got it.
So, Ghost, we got to start off with some because a couple stuff going on, some couple ramblings that was said earlier. Since like I think the beginning of last week, Friday. But I want to start off with the first elephant in the closet. So Ubisoft has came out today and said that the brand new Valhalla, right? The Valhalla Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
Valhalla, that the game is supposed to. They're saying that right now, as of this moment, the game is going to run 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series X, right? Now, as we all know, everything has a reasoning, and most things are done for a reason. But of course, it's too early to tell because there's not enough information. It's an early build. It's not the final coding. But we all know how the internet is, the mob mentality of the internet, because of Aaron Greenberg and Microsoft talking and making certain statements within the Xbox team that 60 frames per second is going to be the standard for next generation for the new consoles. And because of this, that 30 frames is dead is a thing of the past. Okay. Um, and so, you see all these people already in these outlets running with it. saying, "Oh no, uh, that I guess so much for 30 frames or 60 frames being the standard. Here we go again. Microsoft lied, and playing the blame game, pointing fingers at Microsoft like they always tend to do because it's the easy thing to do. But if you have the intelligence and the logic, there's a lot of reasons and there are a lot of explanations on why this may be and why this is the possible, the reasoning why it's 30 frames at this moment. So we have the tendency, me, we like to represent our bilingual community,
Yeah.
our Hispanic community as podcasters and gamers in the community. We like to represent, and we like to keep not only a positive, not ideal and notion and thought process and mentality, but we like to, hey, what's up, other thing? How are you? Let's go. Um, Thanks for stopping by, brother. We like to respect our audience as well, meaning we talk to the audience. We don't tell them what we think. We tell them what might be the situation, and we try to include them because we don't try to teach our audience like they're dummies, right? Because without them, we're nobodies, right? So
Yep.
basically, this is what's going on. So I know there's other things you want to talk about, Valhalla, because you got hype. You were telling me that you heard something about a possible DLC containing
Yeah. Something
the
like that.
theme or the
Dragons.
story origins of Beowulf, right? You
Yeah.
said something
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah. Something like that.
which would be fucking dope if it's true. But anyway, I want to get your thoughts on that. What do you think is the reasoning? How do you feel about that? How does it affect you in your hype of the game or your ideals of the game, or the fact that we're going to go into a new generation with a real powerful console paying a nice amount of money, and it seems like we might be having some type of issues all over again. But should this be a thing of the past, or should this be allowed, or should we as consumers be okay with that?
Wow. That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, to be honest, my honest opinion, I feel like
Hmm.
30 frames per second games, if Microsoft, Aaron Greenberg, and Phil Spencer, and am I saying that 30 frames, 60 frames is the new basically 30 frames? You understand? I feel like
Hmm.
going into this generation coming up, it shouldn't be a problem hitting 60 frames with the
Hmm.
GPU, the CPU, the power that the Xbox Series X has.
Right,
Now the
right, right.
4K, the Xbox X that we have, it's capable of doing 4K 60. You
Yeah.
understand? So
Hmm.
I don't see why not these developers don't take advantage of that. Like, what's the
Hmm.
problem? Microsoft is giving them a stronger box, and the PlayStation 5, let's be honest, it's got to be stronger than the PlayStation 4. So I know it could probably push
Right,
the
obviously.
60 frames, obviously. You feel me? So it is maybe now people can see what everybody was saying. It's up to these developers. If the developer wants to make their game 30 frames, which I think Phil Spencer and them should put pressure on that, but I think it's up to the developers on if they want to put it 60 frames or 30, and I'm thinking they probably feel it's better putting it at 30. You still there, Heba? Well, yeah, that's how I feel. That I feel from here on out, these games should be 60 frames per second, man. I don't see why not. If we're going into next generation and we're going to spend more money and get better quality into our consoles, I feel that these developers should take advantage of that. And I feel like we kind of getting the short end of the stick, kinda. But also, man, I did hear kind of good news that we supposed to get like a season pass or something for the Beowulf.
Right. Hmm.
And at the end of the day, like that's something that's dope. I would like to see what's up with that, with the Valhalla, with the Vikings, or the Beowulf, and plus, I'm hearing
Hmm.
that it's got dragons in it. So that's
Well, I
something.
don't know. Dragons is that's fire. It's gonna make sense because it's Norse mythology. Now, real quick, have you ever seen the animated Beowulf movie?
No, I've never seen that movie.
Never. I recommend you to watch it because it has the animation where they look almost lifelike, like the Final Fantasy movies.
Okay,
And it's fire, so that you could get more acquainted
with
with the
Beowulf,
story,
right?
with a more modern take on Beowulf. And even 360 had a really awesome game that it was low budget, but it was still pretty awesome. It was like God of War and the way it played, the play style. And you could probably get it for like $3, no lie. So if it ever goes back compact, you could play it on your X, you know what I mean, or on your Xbox. So just something I want to throw out there that you should look into and watch it because I think you'll enjoy it with Kim. It's a good movie. It's violent, very adult. It was awesome. It was an awesome movie. Also, I think Anthony Hopkins plays the voice of the main character.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, yeah, I got you, other zinc. Oh, Ghost, you know what you could do? You could read the comments for me when they come in, please.
I got you.
Just tell me, oh, there's a comment, then I'll give you a time to read it, and then we'll respond because we like to make our audience feel like they're part of the show, even though they may not be in the show. So
Okay.
yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I was trying to say real quick. Um, so yeah, you should check it out. You should definitely check it out because it's a good movie. It's not like for kids. It's like a R-rated movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put that on my list to watch definitely to
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah. So you hype?
get on it. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Just
You
to
hype
know that
for the.
just to know that you can go siege castles, you get to meet other kings and unite. You understand and get more different
Mm-hmm,
type of probably
mm-hmm,
armors,
mm-hmm,
more probably weapons. I know the animation, how you say it, the attacking is gonna be a little more different
mm-hmm,
and better. Like they making it more how you say it. Oh, they making it more like aggressiveness, probably on the attacks, like maybe limbs getting cut off, and I want games like that. I like games like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
Tell them to
going
go
at
to
it
my.
with swords, axe, shields, you know, the whole Nord mythology is gonna be sick. That's the same way they did with God of War. They took that with Thor and all of this, and they did the twist onto that. But now Valhalla is the same thing, but they doing it with Vikings. Like it's not about God. It's about gods, but you could tell it's about like something with just a Viking man like taking over. You understand? I know it's gonna have a twist to it, but I know it's gonna just be dope, dope game. Because if you look at Assassin's Creed Origins, it was fire. So this game is gonna be dope. And this is one game I'm definitely gonna buy. But like you were speaking, Heba, I don't want to keep you like too long on this. For me, speaking for the 30 frames, I think it should be standard 60 frames and better if you can, because they saying they could do up to 120 frames per second.
Keep get. Yeah, keep talking. Give me a sec. I'm talking to Tuck right now. Hold on.
You got it, my brother. Well, yeah, for the people out there listening, man, what y'all think, man? Other Zinc, for guys out there, man, that ain't watched the show yet and gonna see it, let me know on what you think. Do you think it should be the standard, no more 30 frames, 60 frames, like Aaron Greenberg and Phil Spencer try to say? But remember, these developers are definitely, definitely gonna do what they want to do. And right now, they're saying that Valhalla might be 30 frames. So we just gotta see and hope for the best that these developers utilize these two consoles that we're about to spend money on coming up this holiday season. I'm gonna cop me the Xbox Series X, but remember, I'm a actually get the PS5 too. I'm not just gonna have one console and not get the other. I'm gonna show love to both because that's just how I am. And then you know how it is mid-generation. Nintendo's gonna come out with a console, so I'm gonna have to show love to Nintendo. They always do that. But yeah, man, definitely. I'm waiting on my boy Hebot until he jumped back in the room, and there he goes.
Oh,
Let's go,
Ghost.
brother.
I'm
Yep.
here, Ghost. Hey guys, look, I want to apologize. Remember, Ghost is hosting the show for me. So if I cut off in any way, shape, or form, he will bring me back in. Please bear with us. Like I said, this is a new format we're trying to do, and he's trying to help me out.
You got it.
Yes, yes. Other Zinc is right. Yeah, Xbox did confirm. Yeah, yeah, and Other Zinc, and that's basically the problem. So, Ghost, your points you said you were telling me, and I missed out talking to you because I had cut off giving Tuck the instructions should be in here with us in a few. You said that for as far as 30 frames for you. What was it? How do you feel about it?
Honestly, my opinion is it shouldn't be no. It should be 60 frames, man.
Right, right. I got you.
That's
Okay.
hands down. It should be 60 frames per second. These developers got to utilize these two consoles that we're about to spend money on, man.
Right, right, right.
Regardless
Okay.
to what price it is in the pricing range,
hmm
we need
And
to
that's
get
and
to 60 frames, man, and better.
right, and to be honest, that's the reason why it's a bad idea for Microsoft to do two SKUs, two consoles, two hardwares, like a Lockhart and a Series X, because then that'll make the developers have the excuse of saying, well, the mainstream console is the cheaper one that sells the most, and there's no really real reason to have to deliberately push on the Series X. We'll do it what we feel is based and best that works well best for both consoles, meaning they'll keep it parity. And that's why you see a lot of times with the Series Xbox One X right now, you've seen it with certain companies where they don't utilize shit.
They
You
don't.
know, like Tekken, it's still 720 on the X and it's 1080p on the Pro, when we all know it's nowhere near as powerful. Yet it's 720p on the X. Okay, and Namco does this notoriously. They did it with Ace Combat as well. Same way they did with Rage. Rage is 1080p, 60 on both. When it's that way on both, it could definitely run maybe 1800p on the X. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in when you have multiple SKUs. Even though it's always good to give your fan base an option, because not everybody wants to pay high prices for the higher end consoles. And that's going to bring us also a little bit later into the subject that I have about the rumors that Series X is going to be $400. That coincides with what I just said, and we'll make a point of it when I get to that subject. So, I mean, do you want me to speak on my end, say what I feel? Because Tuck
Go
might be
ahead. I
jumping
already
in.
spoke on mine. I had enough time.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. First of all, like I said, I like to respect our audience first and foremost, because I'm not going to be one of those people that if my audience follows me in my shows and what I do and my content, that is because I want them to be yes men, to always listen to what I say and just agree just because, I say, oh, I know somebody, I have sources, or because I know more than you. No, I want them to see it with the understanding and the details that I feel is my obligation as the content provider, right? In this case, with my brother Ghost, for example, to show it to them and present it to them with a really thorough, well thought out explanation. And I forgot to say, oh look, I think Tuck jumped in. I'm not
Chuck
sure.
pooped in.
Yeah, yeah. You could turn off the camera if you want to, Tuck, if you don't want it on. Can you hear me, Tuck? Talk. Anyway, real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to my boy New Legal. He's usually my co-host, but because of the fact that my mixer's not working and he's spending quality time with his family, he's not here with us today either. I reached out to him, but I, I'm, I guess he's not available. I'm pretty sure. So, Tuck, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Tuck.
Okay, how do I cut that off?
It should say right there in the box. It should say if you want to turn your camera on or off, and you can and it'll bring up your gamer tag or your pick.
Okay, right now I'm just saying mute, stop cam mic, share screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then leave studio.
Well, right in the bottom, you'll see a bar. It says audio, video, flip, chat, and leave. Press the one that says video, and you will cut your cam off, and you'll get your profile up.
I'm not seeing that here at all.
Either way, it's all right. Whatever you feel comfortable. Just lower your TV a little bit because your TV sounds louder than you right now.
Okay.
And then I will ask you the question since you jumped in. It doesn't matter if you're on camera, Tuck. We don't play those games over here. We have no shame.
Okay, wait. What is it? Let me cut down the TV.
Right. Yeah. Other things. Oh, he's asking. He's already throwing really good questions out already and statements. Ghost.
Yep. He bought 8. I agree completely. If anything, they'll modify the Xbox One X, same as they modified the S from Xbox Fat.
Right. But there's a little bit of detail to that, Zinc, and I'll get into that when I give my point of view with the whole 30 frames debacle or situation right now. And I think you'll understand once I say it. What's up, Tucky? How are you?
Thank you. Hey, what's going on, Tuck?
Not a
First of
thing,
all,
man.
thank you for joining us, Tuck. I'm happy that you were able to join us. We're doing the show, but we're doing my show through Ghost Channel today. We got next. So I'm the host, just to make you feel fit in and feel, understand what's going on. Tuck, how are you, by the way? How's everything?
Oh man, doing great, man. Just enjoying life, and that's about all, man.
Sounds fantastic. Have you been playing anything lately?
I've been playing. Well, I've just been mainly playing. What
I,
have I
s-
been playing?
I saw you playing that Super Mega Baseball. Don't lie.
Yeah, I'm playing it. Oh, yeah, I'm playing that like crazy, man.
I heard it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a whole lot of fun.
So, Tuck, we got a couple of topics that I want to talk about gaming that came up since Friday. We already started on one. Ghost gave his piece, so I'm going to ask you the question. But before I do, Ghost, what were you going to say? You had something that you were going to tell me before Tuck came in.
Um, about the 60 frames, I was gonna ask again. I was gonna state that
Hmm.
now that other Zinc brought this up, man, about the S and all that. I just
Hmm.
man, that these new consoles, man, if they're gonna make exclusives and stuff like that, yeah, they can do
Hmm.
it where it goes to all these consoles, but just don't give these developers the easy way out to not
Right,
utilize the Series X
right. And you make a valid point.
to make the PS5 better. You
Yeah,
understand?
and you're making a valid point. Your point is absolutely valid.
And this is why I feel that we said this in this generation. Now we go into the next. But for this generation, this was the downfall of Xbox. People don't
Hmm.
realize that the developers, not only did the media take down Microsoft this generation, it was the fanboys, it was basically the media, the fanboys, and these developers that took down Microsoft because you
The
got
bias with
devices of not
not
utilizing
putting in the work. Yeah,
not
not
putting in
utilizing.
that
Mhm.
work
I
to
got you.
utilize the games, utilize what the console has to offer,
Right, I
not
got you.
utilizing it right. So what happens is the PlayStation, they're going to utilize that right or make it par. When Microsoft has it,
Well, because like we said, it's the leading platform. But I get what you're saying.
yeah,
Absolutely, I agree, 1,000%. Now, I would love to keep hearing from you, but let's talk too, because he's
mhm.
our guest, and we love to hear from Tuck. Tucky,
Yes, sir.
the question is based off a topic that came out today. It came out that Ubisoft was saying that so far with the build that they have, the brand new Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to be 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series X, right?
Right.
Now, now, the reason why this has become a topic is because um just a few days ago when they did the show, the Xbox Inside of Xbox and things like that, like a week ago or a couple of days ago,
Right.
Aaron Greenberg and people from Team Xbox came out and publicly said, listen, the Xbox Series X is a 60 frame machine base. It's the baseline, it's the standard. No more 30 frames. 30 frames is a dead issue. You could even get up to 120 frames. And we did this deliberately with the architecture and the power that we're putting in the console. So it's a thing of the past, right? And so what ends up happening is now with Ubisoft doing this, right? Like Microsoft always said, is all based on the decisions of the developers, whatever they want to do, which way they want to choose, what route they want to choose. But the problem is, as you know, because Microsoft said something else, which obviously we all know as Xbox fans, they will utilize it with all their exclusive, like the Turn 10's Forza, like Gears, like Halo. They will utilize the console to the fullest potential because
Yes.
it's their exclusives. But they're now the media, the fanboys, the usual suspects are trying to spin it around saying that, hey, look, Microsoft lied once again. It's all bull crap. It's all this. It's all that. And so I want to get your take on it. What you think about this? What's your ideas? Yeah, he did. He did say that. Other Zinc, he did. Absolutely, he did. Um, and how do you feel about it? How does it affect you? Would it bother you because you are buying a more superior hardware and you feel maybe this has to stop because we had the same monarchy this generation? Because remember, 60 frames per second is the industry standards. It was created that way because our eyes get the best feel and performance of the game through visual and through emotional, right? So it feels the best on the controller and visually is what the eyes represent in each eye, 30 and 30, right? So 60 frames per second is ideal, right? It started with Pong back many years ago, right?
Right.
But because of hardware limitations and things like that, in certain areas, certain generations, especially specifically in the PlayStation 1 and Saturn era, because it was a new era going from 2D to 3D, it was a lot harder to do. So we kind of adapted as a gaming community to basically play games in 30 frames. And if the games are so placed, it works because it's not really a big deal. But if you're playing something fast paced like a Ninja Gaiden or a Bayonetta, obviously, clearly, the experience is going to feel like crap. But if you're playing 60 frames in a game like Assassin's Creed, it's still going to make the experience a lot richer and fuller. So before I say my piece, I'm going to ask you, what do you think? How do you feel about that? Did you hear about it? And if you did it, how do you feel? And does it bother you? Or do you think there should be some, we should go in with this being a thing of the past?
Okay, well, my first thing that me and Bone already talked about, me and Mr. 100 already talked about it this afternoon when I got off work.
Oh, okay.
He told me about it and all that stuff. And I just told him, I said, well, the thing about it, it's still all the way up to the developers, no matter what, no matter how
Right.
we see it, no matter how we take it. It's not Microsoft issue. It's not a Microsoft issue at all. It is not a Sony issue. Now, my only issue is this: if they're going to turn around and do this stuff with the PS4 just because Sony is this and that, I don't agree with that at all. I'm telling you that right off the bat.
That's a good point.
I think
you're saying basically it'll be messed up if it's because the console of the PS5 is less capable, and that's why they're trying to go in that direction, right? That's what you mean?
Right.
Okay. Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
I mean, the game is so big. The game's an open world game for number one. When we talk about open world games, I mean, are there any open world games 60 frames per second?
On PC, yeah, absolutely, you can. But see, again, I'll get to that when I speak my piece. But yeah, they are. It's possible, but there's I can't get into it until I speak because then you're gonna be all over the place. But go ahead. Yeah, there is. So go ahead.
No, but as far as I'm concerned, it's all about the game developer. And now the thing about it is, this is something that the game developers is asking for. They're asking for the 60 frames per second anyway, because they want to do that anyway. But if they can't make this game, if they can make the game 60 frames per second, I think they would. But I mean, I don't think it's no big deal. I mean, to me, it's not. I mean, a game is going to be a game. It's going to run beautiful either way it go. So you never can know. They might, when the game first come out, they might decide to go ahead and do a patch, might boost it up to 60 frames per second, which they can do that. But no, I really don't have any. I mean, no bad will towards the gaming industry at all. I mean, people just need to stop and get off Xbox. Just get off Xbox because Microsoft don't have anything to do with that. The console is made for those frames per second. It depends upon the developers if they want to use it. If they don't want to use it, it's all up on them. And some developers use it, some developers are not. And that's my bottom line on that.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, that's how you don't feel any need, as long as it's the developer's choice, right?
If it's the developer's choice to do what they want to do, what can we do? I'm just saying, as gamers, I mean, besides protesting, putting pressure on the gamers and all that stuff, which we can do that, but is it going to do any good? I mean, I'm just being serious.
Talk.
Is it really going to do any good?
And we gotta have that standard, though. It gotta be 60 frames. Man.
Right. And you got a good point.
Yeah.
Slide, Tuck. Because if we let it slide, now, what is our console right now does 4K. It could do 60, but we getting 4K 30. It's doing that right now. Why spend $500 or $400 or even $600? However much they're gonna charge us for these consoles. Still doing the 30 frames, Tuck. What Aaron Greenberg and Phil trying to say is 60 frames is the new standard, they trying to let these developers know, because they know this keep everything on par that's happening. So I think, in my honest opinion, this is a way of Aaron Greenberg and Phil letting us know, as gamers and YouTubers out there, they doing that. The devs are doing that. It's not,
Yeah,
it's not,
I agree.
but I feel they need to stand up and Rain G4. What's up, my brother? Thanks for dropping by. Hit that like button, everybody. That's what's
Hey,
up.
Rain, what's up, brother? What's going on, my boy?
But that's just my honest opinion.
Right, and you have a valid point. You have a valid point. But I'm gonna answer your point. I'm gonna answer Tuck's point, and hopefully everybody will go along with me.
Well, let me say one more thing about that. Okay?
Go ahead, Tuck. Go ahead.
See, the way I say it like this. These gaming industry, they the one that makes they the one that makes the money and all that stuff. Now, I will agree with you on one doggone thing. Now, if they doing this stuff just to please the PlayStation people, yes. No, they need to have their butts in check.
Right.
Ain't no doubt about that. Ain't no doubt about that. And that's why
because they didn't care when the Xbox One was supposedly the inferior console and hardware when it came out, and they were doing all the love and care on the PlayStation this generation. So that should not even apply. You know what I mean? That shouldn't even be that shouldn't even be in the thought process. They chose to have a weaker console, right? Or because they couldn't afford it, whatever the case may be. Then hey, that the other players that are buying the more premium product, let's say in the Xbox Series X, should not suffer the consequences of their mishaps, right?
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that. Ain't no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone down to place that these systems is more powerful.
Right.
And you talk about the next generation. So
right.
I do agree with you on that. If that should be the standard, and developers, they talked about it. That's what they want to be anyway. They talked about it. That's what they want these consoles to do. So yes, they need to be held accountable. But if they can't do it, I can understand why. If they can't do it, they can't do it. Because if the game is that big, which I don't think at this point, it shouldn't be that way at all.
Right. Well,
I will agree on that. Ghost with the most.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. You got to push the narrative on that stuff.
I'm looking at Twitter right now. You're Hebot.
Yeah.
And shout outs to Dirk Gritty. So he said, ponies are telling me that the SSD will help Assassin's Creed Valhalla hit 60 frames per second on PS5. Oh, really? Oh, really?
Okay, so now I'm going to give my point of view. Okay, so first of all, the first thing we got to logically as gamers that we've been gaming for a long time, and our audience that been gaming, right? That are gamers because they're not dumb. The audience is not stupid. If the Xbox Series X, right, and even the PlayStation 4 to a certain extent, as far as we know, is utilizing brand new hardware that's not even available yet on a PC, right? Which was able to hit 60 frames on games like Odyssey, right? Or games like, Forza Horizon 3 and 4, right? Which are open world, right? What makes you even think, without a shadow of a doubt, that the new hardware that is far superior is incapable, right, to create this experience with this new game, right? Given that it has more power. So, logically and realistically speaking, that's not even a possible thing, okay? But there's two sides to this situation. Well, three, because Tuck brought a very good point. Tuck said if they're doing it to try to appeal to the PlayStation market because the PS5 may not be as superior as they're claiming it is, and they're trying to keep it within reason to be parity, that's not cool. Definitely not. I already agree with Chuck. We all agree. We already hit that first point. Now, the second point I'm going to introduce is you guys got to remember, okay, and this is probably the most important point, okay, that this generation was a generation where the consoles sold like hotcakes. They sold a lot. PlayStation is almost at 110, 107 million. Microsoft, I'm pretty sure, is probably at 75 million, respectively, right? At this point. And I'm pretty sure, and with the Switch, right? Now, that audience, a lot of that audience, the majority of that audience, as unfortunate as it may be, and as it may sound, are casual audiences, right? It's a casual audience. So that audience are the doubters because they play games just to play games. They don't really look at it as, oh, well, I got to have the best of the best. Not until they actually experience it, see it in a 4K TV, playing at the highest quality, then they realize the difference, which doesn't always happen right away. So as we all know, the adaptation rate of the new consoles, right? They're not going to adapt to the new consoles right away. They're not going to go buy the Series X or the new PS5 like off the hand, off the back. They did it with 360. They did it with PS3, right? Although with PS3, a lot of them flocked over real quick because they were just tired and mad of how bad that generation went, right? The PlayStation fans, which is another reason why the PS4 sold so fast. So Ubisoft is too big of a company, and their money men breakers and their breadwinners are games like Assassin's Creed. So Ubisoft is not going to alienate their customers that are in the last generation for the new customers this generation. It's the beginning of a gen. So more than likely, they're doing this decision, being realistic, not to give them the people or the audiences, right? Too much. Stop it, Others Inc., you silly. I saw that comment. We'll read it afterwards. Hold on. So Ubisoft's not going to make those people feel like they're not worth anything to them anymore. Because for them, it's all about money before anything else. That's how they've always been, right? That's what they've been about for years. So what I think is that this new Valhalla game, although it will push the limits in visuals and things like that of that nature, and probably size and design and details, they're going to stay within a parameter that they can downscale to the existing generational consoles. Reason being, because the more ambitious you get, the harder it's going to be to transition that game and port that game to an inferior hardware. Okay? So they don't want to make those people on the Xbox One S or X or the PS4, PS4 Pro feel like their game is complete dog shit. But if you want to use a perfect example of why that is a big de facto is, just look at Witcher 3 on the Switch. The Witcher 3 on the Switch looks like a complete crap. The only time it looks somewhat nice is when you play it on the actual Switch on the go. But you put it on that dock mode on the TV, oh my God. The frame rates, the textures, the detail, the lighting, the anti-aliasing, the shadow casting, everything in that game looks garbage. It looks horrible. For the standard of a portable, yeah, it looks great, but it looks horrible. And this is what's going to happen if a game looks way too graphically intense on the Series X and let's say PS5, because again, we don't have all the particulars, and they try to port it over to the S or the X or the Vanilla Pro. Because remember, most people have PlayStation 4 Vanilla. They don't have the Pro. Okay? And I think that's the idea and the thought process behind Ubisoft's approach with this new Valhalla. Okay, now, what I think is going to happen is once they see that the numbers start to add up and equate and get larger on the Xbox Series X and obviously on the PS5, you're going to see where they're going to stop the cross-generational game platform and they're going to say, hey, listen, this is only available and possible on these new consoles because of the power and the requirements that the game needs. So we no longer can make them for PS4, PS4 Pro, X, Series X, Xbox One X, and the Xbox S, right? Or even the Fat. Because you already see the discrepancy now with the games now, that they run way more worse on the vanilla and on the Xbox One regular because the developers just don't put the time and effort. Because it's a lot of work. And if it's not going to sell more for them to play it there, then they're not going to bother to make the effort because it's all about money at the end of the day. especially that Ubisoft is a big company. They're not little. That's why it's really good that a company like the ones that are doing Scorn, that have been in beta on the PC all this time, like the one gentleman doing the game that was on beta with that Bright Image game or Bright Burn game, with the samurai that looks like Titanfall, it looks like Metal Gear Revengeance, and it looks like a mixture of Crisis. That game, that's that guy right there himself, right? He he also right he been in beta form on the consoles, but when you look at the build right that he had, for
Okay.
example, we had Mega, right? K Mega put play gameplay of the game before in his earlier stage, and then they put one of the new game. How it looks now, you see the difference. But those graphical qualities like ray tracing and things like that, like HDR, full on HDR and DirectX 12 Ultra, only can be utilized with the full potential and power of the X. Meaning the games have to get built also with the SSD in mind from the SSD, right? It can't be just ported over. So I feel that because of this, that's why Ubisoft is doing what they're doing and keeping the game in 30 frames for this outing. Next year's outing, I think, will be a different story, especially if the new consoles sell very well. But my third take on this is also, I've told people many times through the years, the problem when you start getting new generational hardware with more power is that developers also have the tendency to get too ambitious. And the more ambitious you get, the harder it's going to be, and the more taxing it's going to be on any CPU or GPU, no matter what you're doing. So if you have a game that has 5,000 people on screen, and now you want to do one that has 20,000 people on screen, it's almost like you're still working with underpowered hardware. So I've always said, when you do a game that you want to have an open world style, make it like an open world level based map, the way that we saw in Rise of the Tomb Raider or in the Tomb Raider reboots, that it feels like a little map. Every section is a level, and every time you finish that section, it's very big. It has that scale of being big. It opens up, and it's more level based. You understand? This way, you keep performance. And not only do you keep performance, you also keep the high fidelity quality in the graphical department along with the performance. Okay, that is what they need to do instead of pushing the envelope way too high. And then when you put in things like the 4K, the HDR, the Dolby Atmos, the ray tracing, the DirectX 12 features that are given with the new DirectX 12 build, it's going to be more taxing. The more taxing, the more demanding, the more you're going to, because remember, open world games keep loading as you're playing it in real time. Plus the fact that they don't want you to have any load screens when you play the games to make it more immersive, and you don't get cut out of the immersion, which is another de facto. So those are my other two takes on top of what Patak said of why I feel that it's going to be 30 frames. I don't think, and plus the other thing is it's still the early build. So it's a possibility that they're just trying to keep within reason so that they don't say 60, and then when the game comes out, they couldn't really optimize for 60, and it starts to chug, and the first thing you see is Digital Foundries calling them dummies, or look, they're not key, and then all the other stupid people come out and start rambling and trashing the game. And they want you to focus more on the game's quality as opposed to the frame rates, okay? Which plays a big factor, because you don't want the game to feel inconsistent, especially when you're playing it. It's not fun, okay? So that's what I think is the reasoning. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. I see that 100 jumped in. Is that you, 100?
Yeah, that's me.
What's
up, bud? How are you, my brother?
Chilling.
So I heard from Tuck, or from a little birdie, that you guys talked about this earlier. And, as you see, like always, they're trying to bring up that narrative. My first subject that I was trying to talk about was about Ubisoft and Valhalla being 30 frames, and them announcing that on the Series X. And because, Aaron said a couple of days ago, that it's a thing of the past. The standard is 60. They're trying to spin it around and put the blame on Microsoft, saying that liars. They always say one thing, it's another thing. How you feel about that, brother? What do you think?
I'm gonna tell you just like this. They want to blame Microsoft for everything. We don't know why Ubisoft. Matter of fact, that old hot ass PlayStation 5 might be holding that bad boy back. We don't know. The
Ooh.
PC, the high things they want to do for PC might be holding it back. We don't know. They said
Mm-hmm.
this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to do. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? That's a big open world. Now, think about Valhalla 2 times bigger than the last Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Microsoft don't have no control over a third party. Yeah, they doing the marketing for it, but they can't
Mm-hmm.
tell Ubisoft what to do.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And people don't want to understand that, and they get into their feelings, and they want to tag you in Twitter posts and stuff, and it ain't native this and that, and games ain't this, and games is not that. You need to get mad. Go talk to Ubisoft. Don't go
Right.
blame it on Microsoft. Don't go blame it
Mm-hmm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go ask Sony where your PlayStation 5 at. Go ask
Right.
them. Go ask
Right.
them about
It's
that.
been like that, man,
You
for
know
a
what
Right.
I'm
while.
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
And they
Go,
still
why don't you go ask Sony where is it because of your console and your heating supply that they're holding might be holding it back from doing 60
That's right.
because
That's right.
they want to keep an even kill. They just don't
That's
want,
another possibility. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
but they don't want to mention that. And when you start mentioning them things, they act like you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, it's different variables. Ubisoft didn't have to come out and say shit to tell you the truth.
That's right.
You know what
Right.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And when we really get into these super frame rates all of a sudden now.
Come in, my love.
But I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Y'all don't even know
I
half
don't
these.
know.
The thing about that is for the nerds. That's for the tech guys. They really care about frame. You want to see if the game look good and it runs good. That's all you do. You know what I'm saying? You got and then Assassin's Creed. That's a open world game.
What's up, Brain?
What open world
Mm-hmm.
game that we have?
Yeah.
What open world game we have running 60 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know, like truly
Well,
open world. You do what you want to do, how you want to do it, your side
on
missions, all
PC,
that.
you like I said, Odyssey, you could do it, but again, it's within
Yeah.
parameters, meaning they put the textures at a certain high quality, the shading, the lighting, because you can play with that. So you can make it 60 frames in open world, but you got to watch your parameters. You got to have a certain amount of
Well,
ambition.
they
But
do it
like,
on PC because PC people go make mods, they go make patches.
yeah,
They
yeah, yeah,
they
you have the option. But because the
they
hardware
got
is,
they got from $400 to $1,200 graphics cards in a machine. That's people that's
Mhm,
pushing that, pushing. A lot of them don't have a monitor that can do ray tracing and none of that other
mhm,
stuff.
or
They don't.
HDR. Mhm,
So and it pushes a lot. A lot of them don't have they still using SATA as their means of a SSD instead of
mhm,
putting it straight on the board with an
mhm,
M.2 drive
mhm,
that they don't know nothing about. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying?
mhm.
They just go out and I can go
What's
get
up,
this from there
Cyberwolf?
and it's gonna run.
Right,
I'll
right,
go get
right.
this from this person, it's gonna run. It don't work that way. When you go get your Xbox or PlayStation, Nintendo, you know you push that button, it's optimized to go play games. When you
Right.
go
Yeah,
down
you're
here,
right,
you go
Raiden.
buy
You're
your
absolutely
gaming
right.
PC. It's not optimized, right? You need to know some type of stuff. You need to go on YouTube and find out because every developer don't make give you tools to make it look better. Now
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
been a lot easier now because a lot of people start
Well, I mean,
modding games and
They
give you
take a
they
better
lot of
had,
ideas from
they
people that
had
mod
problems.
games.
They had problems in
You
PC,
know
I
that, right?
believe. Also, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have problems on PC also with even games like Bloodborne? But but I was saying too to 100, it's not like the consoles are not going to be capable because the hardware that's going to be in the hardware that's coming into the consoles, it's not even available on PC yet. What they're bringing out with the Series X, okay, it's not even available for PC yet. So we know it's very capable. But like I also was trying to point out, 100 is that the install base for that generation, the generation that we're in right now, concurrently, is a very big install base with between PlayStation and Microsoft, and Xbox. So they're not just going to abandon their audience because these people are not just going to go buy these consoles like we are, because the hardcore is not as big as as the casuals. The casuals outweigh us. We know this. That's why the gaming industry is cancer right now. That's why social media is cancer because we're talking to a bunch of casuals that don't know the culture, don't know gaming.
because
Um,
just like the X, the Series X.
mhm,
I mean the
mhm,
Xbox X. That bad boy gonna be running from 250 to $200. Somebody's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I can play 4K and I get my game. Phil said he wasn't leaving nobody behind. Sony hasn't
Mm-hmm.
said that yet. You
All
know,
right.
Mm-hmm.
they haven't said anything else. They're going to
You
leave
know
people
what Sony gonna
behind,
do?
or they haven't even really talked about. They barely talked about backwards compatibility.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So honey,
So
you saying that maybe the Xbox right now, Scorpio, because that's the one I really got, and I got the Xbox X, right?
yeah,
You saying that it might go down to 250,
it
maybe
goes gonna go down to
It's
250.
probably gonna be like
Watch
200 bucks.
200 bucks?
everybody
This one right here?
Mm-hmm.
everybody that, because a lot of people didn't. I know some people didn't upgrade. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
then the S, I think the S is going to get weed out because remember all these
Mm-hmm.
guys were up and running were saying, "Oh, Xbox, they're discontinuing the X for this quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote Lockhart and all this." Where y'all
Mm-hmm.
asses at now?
I
Because
think I,
uh,
go ahead.
I was like I said, I ain't. Why would you discontinue something that's going to sell? Because you can have something that can do, and you can get the casual to go buy it during Christmas. The hardcore are going to go buy
Mm-hmm.
that X.
Right, you gotta
That's
also
very true.
understand the okay Lockhart more than likely, okay, because of one that subject that or that point that 100 just touched. The Lockhart more than likely, if it's a thing that exists, is probably a diskless Series X for people that like all digital, because if it's saying that games like what's the game, Scorn, right, Scorn,
Um,
and the game and Medium are only for the Xbox Series X exclusive. They're not even going to be playable on the Xbox X and the Xbox S, because it's not capable. The consoles can't handle it, which is a good thing because that's going to push other developers to follow suit. But they can do it because they're smaller independent studios, and Microsoft is helping them with the funding of the
Yeah, but
of the game.
you're not gonna see scoring no time soon. So the time
No, no,
scoring comes
no,
out,
no, no. What I'm
so
trying to get at, what I'm trying to
say
get
his
at.
scoring comes out, it'll
Mhm.
be a lot of more Xbox Series X's being in people's houses
Mm.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
the game comes
All
out.
right.
It
So
helps. It helps the console sales because you could only play it on that console. It will, but they're only doing it because they want to see their vision, and
mm,
it can't handle on the other console. That's a normal progression. It's been like that since the beginning of time with consoles. Once a new console comes, it's too powerful. You couldn't play Master System games on a fucking Genesis. Impossible unless you use the converter to still run it in the same hardware, because it couldn't handle it. The console was too advanced, and even porting them down, it's very hard. The only reason they're able to do that now is because everything's CD based, not cartridge based. But even then, like I told them before, 100 before you came in, look at how horrible the port of The Witcher 3 looks on the Switch. It looks horrendous. It might look nice for the standard of the Switch being a portable, but when you look at it and you put it on the TV and you play it and you
Like
compare it to the
crap.
Xbox One X, it looks horrible.
yeah, there's no comparison
The
there.
compromise is too big. So, and I think that's what developers, or some of the developers, are trying to get away from. But somebody like Ubisoft being too big, that makes so much money, they're not going to alienate the rest of the people. But again, 100 hits a valid point. We don't know why. We really don't know. We're just talking and speculating based on our knowledge of gaming and what we've seen through the years and generations of new consoles in the past. It was like
I,
Mortal Kombat. It didn't come out, and then the new one 11 only came out only for next gen. They didn't do it for cross generation. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
yeah, just touching up on 100 said maybe like let's just say that the Xbox X is 250, right? And you
Mm-hmm.
just stated that let's just say the Lockhart is diskless.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
was. Mm-hmm.
So now I'm thinking the strategy that Microsoft is pulling off is they didn't make that much money this generation off their consoles. So what they're doing is lowering the prices of these consoles. So once people buy them, they making their money back. They're
But
making
you
up their
never
money.
make no
They're getting
money
their
back
money
on.
back.
You never make money on hardware. You always lose.
No, meaning in the sense like you see how Sony
You
got
make
a
you
hundred
make
some consoles sold.
but they didn't make
Microsoft
that
don't
much
do that
money
with
off them consoles. They didn't make no money. With sales, make you money is
the
software
software.
and services.
Yeah, but think
That's what
about
that's
this.
they can think about it. Microsoft can take a hit. They you know what I'm saying? They got their screws McDuck money. You know what I'm saying? They swimming through money. They can do it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Can
that's correct.
Sony do it? You see, Nintendo plays it safe now. Nintendo made a whole bunch off that Wii, but they didn't make a whole bunch off that software. because what on the Wii, what they do, anybody could have made a game, and you go see it at Radio Shack or something, and you go pick up that game, and that game be trash. Nobody want to put no real developers wanted to put the game. Madden was trash on the Wii. So when they came out the Wii U, they said, you know what, we good in the hardware, and you know what, let's try something different. Let's put something in a dock. And Nintendo people are loyal. Them are old loyal. Nintendo fans are old loyal. They just as old as us.
Yeah.
I don't see too many kids walking around with Switch. I bought my son a Switch, and he gave it back to me.
Cause they got the tablets and all that, man.
Yeah, he enjoyed playing games on his phone, on his iPhone, than that, because they don't have the game. He comes from a generation. He comes from a shooter. He saw me playing games or playing fighters. Also, I came from a generation where a bunch of violent games. He saw that. He don't care about Mario saving Peach for 120 times. He don't care about that.
And like
if he race, he want to force it.
Your kids gonna play what you play.
And they want he want to play a 4. He want to sit there and tune up the car and stuff like that. You know, he comes where you do. I come from a generation where your homie come over and we play Madden for 10 hours. Ain't don't do that no more.
No, they don't.
Better go tell you go. I don't care if the homie live across the street, down the street, 2 blocks away. Oh, you want to play Madden? You better go home, so you can't see my plays. Go home. Go home. They ain't gonna figure me out. Because we used to get in fist fights over because people stealing your plays.
It's not only that, when you got somebody in your crib, man, and you playing side by side, they can see the plays you picking, man.
The best person that did it right and you could play couch co-op was the Dreamcast, because you had the VMU.
Yeah.
And they couldn't see it. They couldn't. It'll show 3 plays, but they don't know how to do 3 plays. And then if you hold the button, if you hold A, you can just keep on hitting on the thing. That was the play you picked. I didn't ran them through 20 plays. I didn't mind doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
We do got comments in the comment section, y'all, if y'all want me to breeze through them quick.
Yeah, because I can't sit on my phone.
I got you. I got shout outs to Cyberwolf. Thanks for stopping by, my brother. Let's go into, before I get into other things, we have Gray Simmons, Gaming TV. Gamers need to realize it's the developer, not the hardware. But if it can be used to fit a certain narrative, well, see you as we speak. Now you got Rain G4 said, funny thing is developers didn't hold back during the Nintendo and Sega era. They took advantage of both consoles' hardware. If one was better, you can blame it the hardware, not the developers. Boom. Also, let me see. Rain, blah, 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 blah. Other Zinc put this up right here. 100. The Xbox Series X is powerful enough to push 4K 60 frames per second. I don't care what they're doing. I agree. He also put up, I'll bet all 343 coalition and turn 10 games will be 4K 60 frames or better.
Well, we know the machine can do it because we got Dirt 5 last week. Dirt 5 gonna have a mode where you can play at 120 frames per second. You're gonna take down the frame rate.
I mean,
so you can go play 1080p. You can see, thing about it is people don't understand this too. The Xbox got a great upscaling chip. They've been have it. I don't know. People don't know this little trick. If you plug your satellite box, that we do not get 4K nothing from our satellite providers. Most you're gonna get is 1080p. If you plug it in and you cut your TV on, you cut it and put it on TV, it'll pause for a second, and then it will do the best it can to upgrade the quality of it. So that's what people don't understand. Microsoft make great upscaling chips. So when you do go play Dirt and you're playing in 1080p at 100 frames per second, you still gonna see a better picture because the Xbox Series X is going to upscale it the best it can, along with your TV. Now these people got these crackerjack TVs. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask no real person, and you can't see it, and you want to blame streams that I didn't really see nothing that impress you, but you didn't go take your behind and go do your just diligence and go and like, you know what? Let me go see if it's a 4K 60. And shout out to Livewire. Livewire put he put up the third the one that we saw on the stream, and we saw the one that Microsoft ended up putting up on YouTube. And you're not going to see nothing until you see it in your face. Because even YouTube compresses. You can go put something in 4K. It's not 4K. It's not 4K because YouTube going to compress it.
I mean, I'm gonna give you good examples. Like I got two visual TVs. Okay. Now, one of the visual TVs I have in the living room, I had to upscale. They had to do a firmware update to turn around and make it HDR. Now, this one I got in my man cave. You know, I mean, because I did a lot of research on this. The M series is a whole lot better series than the one that I got in the living room, and I can tell. So when it comes down to it, like Bone said, stop all them damn crackerjack TVs, buy yourself a real good TV, and you will see the difference. I see the difference between this TV I got in here and the one that I got in the living room. The one I got in the living room is a 70-inch, and the one I got in my man cave is 65-inch, and it's an M series. The M series looks a whole lot better than the 75-inch I got in the living room. And that's all it is. It's the E series, and they made it where you can upscale it to HDR, but the HDR on the 65-inch looks a whole lot better. So,
well, think about it. Technology moves different times.
Yeah,
it moves every year. Some, like I say, some TVs have the power in them already. They just need a software update.
Yeah,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? And if you need you know what I'm saying? Like I see people, I'm gonna get this Samsung $2,500 QLED, and some TVs you can go save a whole lot of money off of, and just as good as that bad boy.
Mr. Keemer just put up, guys. Shout outs to Mr. Keemer. Ubisoft playing parody. Watch Dogs 3 will run at 30 frames per second. What's going on here?
Well, see, they plan it because they want that money.
Dang.
They want that money, so that means that other console can't push it.
Listen, if PlayStation can't push it, well, they need to do something and push the Xbox because,
well, I think they might do this.
Rockstar pushed Xbox and did on both consoles, pushed what both consoles could do. And
but this is what Ubisoft might have to do. Wait about, let the game come out, everybody rush to go get it, and about 6 months down the line, run a patch and let it run at 60.
See, that's sad, man. Like
that's what I think they're going to do. That'll save them face. They just have to say it for right now because they want Assassin's Creed 2 run on people to go buy it on PlayStation. So we don't know. I don't know what sells better on what. Don't try to know. Don't care to know. But they're doing it. Everything about it. Every time we get a new system, it's a couple of games that wow you. There's a lot of them because we don't even know if Ubisoft even have a dev kit for it. Now people say they're out there. Right. Why we know Ubisoft ain't even got it yet? We just don't know.
I just feel like they should step it up, man.
Where's 100? I mean, where's 100?
He should be. He'll come back.
Yeah, but we don't. Like I said, we don't know. And think about it is maybe it runs the version of the dev kit they have now runs too hot at 60.
You never can tell.
On PlayStation 5.
PlayStation hasn't even. Honest truth. What if PlayStation is holding it back? Because at the end of the day, like they haven't even showed their console yet.
Well, I'm like
they haven't did anything yet, and nobody's really looking at that. And that's a good point. It could be Sony PlayStation that's holding back Ubisoft from putting that game on 60. Maybe the PS5 can't do it.
Because if you look at the people from Scorn, they said they was like, man, we love it. We love the Xbox because it can play high res games with no problem.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. No, what I was trying to say is, if it's because they're trying to, because Hunter hit a good point too when Chuck brought it up, and now him. If it's because it's having problems with overheating issues with the PS5's architecture, then that's kind of fucked up because they should just parody for the hardware of the PlayStation 5 itself and utilize the X because they had no problems messing up the Assassin's Creed Unity when it was running better on the Xbox OG, the fat, right? Xbox One, when they were trying to get it to run better frame rates on the PS4 when it first came out. I remember that clear as day. They did like 20 patches to get it to run better than the X, than the Xbox.
I remember that.
Right? And the reason why the Xbox was running better was because it was 900p. And the Ubisoft Unity on the PS4 was 1080p. So if they didn't have a problem this generation utilizing the advantages that they got from the PS4, then the same thing should apply for the Xbox Series X. You know, if it's what 100 was implicating, saying that it's possible that that's why it's they're doing it. And to be honest, he has a good point. It's very possible that it could be that they're having conflicting problems with the PS5 hardware. That would make a lot of sense as well. But it's also money. They don't want to alienate this generation. People are not going to buy the consoles right away. We all know this. So they're going to make money. So they also announced that they were making the show on they're doing their own E3 show July 17th. So that makes me believe that maybe Microsoft might do their show the first week of July. Did you guys hear about that? How y'all feel about that?
I didn't hear nothing about no July 17th. I heard they might introduce it at Jeff Keighley's joint, but I ain't see Sony directly say this is what we doing.
Oh, no, not Sony. I'm talking about Ubisoft. They're saying they're doing their show.
But see, Ubisoft want to show. Yeah, see, Ubisoft just want to show their games off on there. You can't get you can't get mad. That just
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, when we do E3, it's stuff that you might see at the Microsoft or Xbox event, or you might see something different at Bethesda. Bethesda might take something new on their stage, but they'll still show love. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? This is running on the Xbox, or this is running on PlayStation. They'll still show love.
Right.
And so, the thing about it is too, also is they don't remember like, okay, PlayStation ain't did this year, the Snap. We want this game to come out this year. We already got a baseline. We can play it on this and this and that. We're just gonna have to drop it because we know of the hardware that they said that we know is gonna run.
Right.
No, I'm talking about. That's why we gonna run to play safe.
Yeah. What I'm asking you, 100, right, and you guys is that since they announced that they're doing it on July 17th, that means that, do you think, well, I believe that means Microsoft might do it the first week of July. Because remember, it's always usually June. It's already going in late to show off the game. So you think
Microsoft said they start off next month showing their exclusive games.
Yeah. But I'm talking about when they show their big hitters from the first party studios. They say it's going to be
They said they're going to start next month. Next month they start. Yeah, they start next month. So they're going to start showing games. On Inside Xbox, you're going to see start stuff on their first party titles. And they said all the way up to, it's Inside Xbox, all the way up to the console releasing.
And Gamescom, right? And all that stuff?
Gamescom is canceled.
Okay.
Gamescom going to try to do something like, I guess, Nat and Tokyo Game Show going to try to do something like Jeff Keighley stuff going on, something digital.
Right. What about you, Tuck? What do you think? That got you excited?
Oh man, dude. All I gotta say is this: I just can't wait until the system comes out. I know it's gonna blow everything. And the thing about it is, we don't even know if Sony gonna come out this year. I'm just being realistic. We ain't even heard nothing about the system, so we don't even gonna come out this year. I mean, one thing I will give Microsoft. Microsoft is showing what they need to be showing, and like they said, like Bone said in this show. They really didn't have to show nothing at all, but they did because they just want to show what the Xbox X is going to do. I don't blame them for that. I mean, and as far as the show is concerned, I love the show. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was something that I want to see. So,
people don't understand. This is people don't understand. They come in with these high ass expectations. I tell people to go on an even kill. Going to be surprised. Going to even kill. Because I was doing a show with Lemon and K Mega and them and my man Silk, and I was impressed. Like that first game, and Meg was like, "Oh, that's on PC already." But it's a lot of these YouTubers don't even know it's out on PC yet.
Right.
All right. They don't know like that game out on PC. They don't know that.
They show new IPs.
They showed you third party exclusive IPs. That's
that are going to be exclusive.
Studios. Yeah. Plus
well, 100. That's another point I wanted to say when you said what you said, because the thing, you remember how how there's some people saying, oh yeah, the Lockhart's going to be a more cheaper version of of Series X, but the fact that they said, well, that the games like Medium and Scorn are going to be exclusive just for the Xbox Series X. Why would they say that if they had a Lockhart in mind? Because then you're not going to be able to play it on the Lockhart.
Yeah, it ain't no.
Because it's inferior hardware, right?
I don't care about no Navi chip. I don't care about this. No, it's not going to run on that bad boy.
So that kind of kills that idea as well. That's why I said if something like Lockhart exists, more than likely it's an all digital or a digital only Xbox Series X.
And I'm gonna think, and then people saying, "Oh, it's in people's houses and all that." Who told you that the Lockhart is in somebody's houses? When the Series X came out, the HNIC came in. Phil said, "Hey, I got the Series X at the house, and I'm playing games."
Yeah.
Then you see Aaron came out and said something. Then you see some other people came out and something. Then you see Major Nelson come out and say something. You ain't heard nobody say, "Oh, I got it. I got this new." And then you think they would have announced it by now? They'd announced everything else. But
yeah. They would have announced that first because it's the inferior hardware. That's what they probably would have done.
They would have showed.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Remember, they showed off the S first. Remember at E3 they showed off
S,
S, right?
S first.
This is the S. They had it like, oh, it's ready to get bought. This and this and that. They have a 4K Blu-ray drive. You can do HDR. They showed that. They just showed you a glimpse of the Xbox One X. So why they wouldn't do the same? Because
it was the all digital that got announced after those two. Yeah. And the reason why I say that too is because the all digital has done really well for them, according to Amazon, Walmart, the MPDs. And remember, the MPDs don't even count Amazon and Walmart numbers. So, I really truly believe it's a discless Series X.
Well, I was told, like I said, I heard they're making buku money. They made buku money this quarter.
Buku.
I had said it. Nobody didn't want to believe me when I said it on one of my live streams, because I got told. Like, all of a sudden, I saw this certain individual in the party with Phil, and then they came and told me, like, Phil said this.
Right.
Phil said this. I said, say what? He said, it's blowing out the ship. That person knows I'm not going to say where I heard it from, but they know I'm going to speak on it.
Right.
And when I spoke on it, 4 days later, comes out, Xbox is doing this. It's over 10 million people on in Game Pass and all that other stuff. But you have these other outlets going on here saying, "Oh, it's going down the drain. Ain't nobody making no money." No, people are buying games. They're buying software. They're buying movies.
Yeah. Dude, you go to the stores. If consoles are sold out, you don't see no controllers. You don't see no games. They're fucking gone.
Virus got console sales flying.
Yeah.
Sales is flying off the roof.
Yeah, movies, all types of medium stuff, like media.
Over 60 million people that was playing Warzone, bro.
Yeah. It's heavy. It's heavy.
There's so many people home playing video games. That's why I said gaming is at its highest, my brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's going to change, obviously. That's going to change, obviously, when things get back to normal, because right now it's just a lot of casuals trying to spend time with their kids by playing games because they got nothing else to do. But for the meantime, we should enjoy it because it's helping the industry, no matter what. It's needless to say. What about you, Ghost? You excited about Ubisoft making that announcement that they're going to do an E3 show themselves, dedicated, and that they're keeping with the tradition, even though it's going to be digital?
Oh, man, brother. Anything is dope. Any event that we get to see video games. See, like, unlike these biased ponies and these stupid websites that start taking shots at Microsoft, I did a video, and my video was just speaking about PlayStation fans, typical pony out there, making stupid statements. And I just had to correct them, like, Microsoft did a third-party show, which they stated it was a third-party show. They didn't say they was going to show their exclusives. That is going to be in July. Now, they did the show for gamers out there, all kind of gamers. The third-party are coming for that console, meaning PlayStation. Too.
Well, they're giving the time to. So now they got to give time to the developers as well, because they don't, when they do the E3 show, they always show developers games and they show their exclusive. This time around, they're letting the developers go first, and then they're showing their stuff, which is even better. And there's something else I heard. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but I'll tell you guys once you finish talking. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, what happened was these dudes just attack Microsoft all the time, and they say, "Oh, it's trash." But if you're saying that Sony would have showed the same games, would have been good, you're not. When they streaming something, you're not gonna fully see the full graphics of those games.
No, absolutely not.
Dirt was running 120 frames.
Mm-hmm.
That everybody should be like, "Wow," but nobody's really talking about that. They showed nice games, and certain games we had they became exclusive. I started realizing that certain games are going to be exclusive to the Series X. That's great. Microsoft just showed you third-party games going to certain consoles, PlayStation and Xbox, how they look on the stage for the fans, and then they gave us maybe 3 or maybe 4 exclusives that they are going to potentially be on the Xbox Series X. People should be happy. Oh no, nobody's talking about that. They just talking about Microsoft got a bad show, and I'm like, it was a B plus for me. You understand? That's like an 8 to 8.5 in my opinion. But I'm just saying that they showed they're the only gaming how you say it company that's really doing things for the fans.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's like Hundred said and like Tuck said. Most of that dumb shit you hear people talking is from the trolls and the ponies and the donkeys because they're mad because they haven't gotten anything from their beloved company. But that's nobody's fault but Sony's, because Sony, they took a big chunk that they couldn't swallow. You understand? They blew their load. They're talking too many that big talk without having enough money. They don't got Microsoft money. They just don't. They just don't. And whoever thinks that, you're a fucking idiot, because there's a difference between making profit and there's a difference between making a gross. Like, there's a difference between making money and making profit. You can make money, but if you're in the red and you owe money, you're not making profit. Microsoft is making money with the profits. Sony's barely making any profits. All right. And that's why they got to keep doing things in a slower pace. That's why you haven't seen the console. That's why they haven't finalized the patent that came out for their cooling system, because they don't have the money. Michael Proctor got interviewed by, Ponyville, Jeff Keighley himself. I don't know if you guys saw it. And he said, look, Microsoft has $50 billion in their pocket to throw away. Sony doesn't. He said as straight as can be in that interview, which brings me to the other topic that I was trying to talk about that I heard about. There was 2 things that I heard, and I want to start off with Tuck, and then we go from there. First one is they're saying that Microsoft is planning to, ramblings are to possibly even undercut Sony with a $400 price tag for the Xbox Series X, as opposed to $500 that is rumored to say that, or being said that PS5 is going to be. And also that for the E3 shows coming up, or the presentations, that they're going to possibly let you download the demos that would be initially in the floor and E3 in your console from the different companies, so that you could play the demo and give them back feedback virtually, like they did the year with Lost Planet when it came out on 360, that E3, and they showed the demo and it came out that same day that it came out E3. That's how they're planning to approach the E3 situation this year. And my son was the one who brought it up to me. Shout out to him. And I was reading, I was like, wow, that sounds interesting, but it makes sense. So, honey, what do you think about the undercut price being a possibility? And what do you think about the demo being a possibility so that we can experience it, since E3 is not a thing this year?
The price part, I don't think it's going to be 4. It's going to be 5.
Okay.
If it's a company that can do it, it's them.
Right.
There won't be no problem. It's them. The demo type of thing, that's putting too much on the developer, especially since people still working from home and stuff like that. I can see certain games, maybe like they'll give us, like Forza. They usually throw Forza out. Forza. They show us Forza and we get a demo of Forza, and then with the option to buy. They always throw out Forza, something, but it won't be a bunch of games where you can just download and stuff like that, because some of them games that they're going to show off, them games are not going to be out.
Right. Well,
Now,
what they were saying is like
games.
the demo builds that they had ready to show on the floor, like the company, like
But
Ubisoft,
think
for
about it,
example.
yeah, but them demo builds, you don't want to
Hmm.
have nobody sit there and say your game is broken and stuff like that. Now, I get builds of games, a lot of them indie games. I get
Hmm.
because I participate in a preview program. So I'm
Hmm.
playing games now that I can't say or I can't show because I'm under NDA,
Hmm.
and that I'm that you play. Maybe you go do it that way where you NDA people, and because you want people to play that demo. So
Right.
to me,
Hmm.
is you want to get a group of people like when everybody don't go to E3. So when you go to E3, you got a group of really hardcore gamers or people that's in the industry that's gonna
Okay.
try to do it. So you just can't. I wouldn't throw it off like a Forza. I throw it out to anybody. But anything, a Halo multiplayer if you want to sweeten the deal. But other than
Hmm.
that, I don't see it that way. Because it don't you can't, because my thing is these developers, it's cool to listen to us, and it's sometimes for them to tell us to shut the hell up because that's their
Yeah,
art.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Hmm. Like it's cool to ask for the feedback, but it could also be working against them because a lot of some not all players are the same. Some players are more picky than others. I get what you're saying. Yeah, but I mean, the idea of it sounds really cool. So I mean, Chuck, what do you think about the price point? If they do it, or if they don't do it, like Hunter already alluded to, they are capable of doing that. They're in that position. But what's your thought about it if they did, and how do you think if they did do the demo thing, how would you feel about it?
Well, I play there's a demo thing. I mean, if they can do it, I'm fine with it. But now the price point thing that the A, if they come out with this thing for $400, I love it. That saved me $100 right there.
Right.
And one thing else, I'm already ready to buy mines already for 500, 400. It don't make no
Hmm.
double difference if it's 600. I'm still
Right.
buying.
Right. Well, I mean, you're a
So,
hardcore, obviously.
but no, I mean, as far as like the demo thing is concerned,
That's a hardcore, my brother.
Right.
if they can come out with the demos, fine. If they can't, you know, if it's hard for developers to do it, I don't. It don't bother me none. I'm just a really basic, simple guy. I like to try demos, but demos don't make or break me. I want to see the game be done right, and that's it. Because you know how some people are. They say it's trash and all that stuff, and then
Hmm.
when the damn game come out, they just because they don't want to give it a try because they tried the demo and they said the demo's trash, they don't want to try the damn game. So to me, but all these people talk about this and that and this and all that stuff. I just tell people like this: when they make these games and everything, if you don't buy them, why should they put them out? That's
Right.
the
Right.
bottom damn line.
Okay.
I always have been that way. Everybody in this panel know how I feel about that. When it comes down to exclusive games, you
Right.
don't
Right.
buy them, shut the fuck up, go on with life, and play your PS4 or your PS5, whatever you want to do, and shove that up your butt.
Yeah,
And,
but
and
a
to,
lot of them games were showing that they were going to Game Pass too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They were.
Damn.
And the sad part too is 100 and Tuck that the vocal minority are usually the loudest too. So it is true. It is true. It's something that definitely I'm pretty sure if developers are planning to do something, they got to take that into consideration big time because, like Hunter said too, it could either make them or break them. It could help. So, what about you, Ghost? What are your thoughts? What do you feel about it? Price point wise, if they do it, what do you think? And obviously the demos.
What the demos is cool. That's something that's dope. If they can send it out to gamers like us and let us experience it, and we could get
Hmm.
feedback, why not? That's something that's
yeah.
This
Everything about that, yeah.
awesome, bro. Like they letting us play those games, and we're not even at E3. Like that's,
Mhm.
and I'm 100% for that. But I ain't gonna lie. You trying to say like is the console gonna be like $400?
That's what the ramblings is. They're saying that Microsoft is planning to
I think
undercut.
Proctor said it.
Fractor
Proctor said it, and Proctor ain't been right since I've been
exactly
black.
Well, it was another. It was some other outlets that said it as well. It wasn't just him.
They're going after Proctor.
going
What
after
Proctor saying.
Fractor
That's
saying.
just one of
Oh,
what
they,
Proctor saying.
oh, okay.
Now we
I
know
got you. I
Proctor
got you.
was saying, but Proctor ain't been right.
Yeah, he ain't been right for a long time, probably. But I'm gonna tell you this: my honest opinion, I don't think it's gonna come in at 400. If it comes in at $400, that is a low blow to Sony, and that'll
Oh
be
yeah.
dope for what they did to Microsoft this generation. For low blowing
That'll be
Microsoft
their.
at
This is how
launch.
we share games moment,
Yeah,
right?
that'd be dope. But you know, Microsoft, they're not gonna do that. And I think usually that's just, I think that's just haters out there with the media and everything trying to do something like that to get Microsoft to step out their boundaries and say their price range so Sony could get the upper hand.
Well, Phil ain't gonna do it.
You understand
See,
me?
thinking about it, Phil
See,
plays a
things like
different.
that, yeah.
Phil
I-
plays a different. Phil plays a different game. Phil don't listen to what the media tells him to do. He'll listen to he prefer to listen to me and you than listen to them because he know
Right.
their game. You
Their
see,
game- Their game is out
when
there.
he took over. Yeah, when he took over, you see, it was people don't understand when the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? OG came out, one came out. Phil wasn't in charge. Phil was part of the company.
gaming
But
division.
He wasn't in
Mhm.
charge. If Phil was doing so bad, why you keep on got all them damn promotions? He only answered to one
Mhm.
man now,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he comes out and said, "Hey, I'm here for the gamer. I listen to the gamer."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is, right?
Yeah. So you got to understand. People don't understand. Like Microsoft already knows what Sony has already because what Sony's online infrastructure is going on Azure servers. So Microsoft already know what their specs are, or Ben knew it.
Yeah.
Because if you want me to help you, I need to see what you got. If you want me to fix your car, you got to give me your car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I think that this is just a little too extreme with the $400, and I feel that this is a little strategy by the media to get Microsoft to jump out the window and say their price, so Sony can roll up and start doing their thing. And if it comes in at $400, guys, that is an awesome price. Phil Spencer, if you do that, thank you. I appreciate it. Aaron Greenberg, I appreciate it. Because $400 is a great price for a console like that. It's a beast. I would gladly say, let me get 3 of them bad boys.
Yeah, because I got to buy 2 of them. So
That's what I'm saying. I got to get me one, my wife one, and my son one. So,
Andre's the first one to say something, even though he's the one that said no. I don't agree.
yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great. It'd be great.
It'll be really good. We're going to sound like Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, great. Well, look,
I'll be the first one to say that.
bro,
It made me out of a lie.
That's my honest opinion, man. $400 is a hell of a price, and it would be an honor for Microsoft to do that. I would love it. For the demos, that's definitely an honor, and I will gladly be one of the guys. I hope they send me it. And for everybody out there, so we can experience certain games that we would have never experienced, because for the people that never goes out to E3, Hunter would have, but
right.
this year I was gonna go, but this coronavirus, everything got messed up. But anyway, I just want to say that $400 price to me is kind of fugazi. I think they're just trying to make Microsoft slip up so Sony can get the advantage. That's how the media is. They greasy like that, trying to make believe they slip up some when they, they trying to front like they got that sauce when they don't got the sauce. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
okay,
you.
if you see Phil lately, right? Phil got a publicist right there with him, and you see him looking to his left or his right. He does it for a reason, because he don't want to slip.
Mm-hmm.
And he got somebody like, no. That's how you know you got some. You don't want to give it your. It's a game of poker.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely playing it.
They thought they had it. They thought they had a full house, but we got a royal flush.
Look, 100. This is the way I'm going to say my part of my thoughts, right? Real quick. The proposition of having demos and the proposition of the price point is incredible if they both are or have any validation or validity to them, right? Obviously, because who the hell is going to say no for a console being far superior, right? and you only paying $400. Obviously, none of us. We're all gonna be like, "Yo, let me get 2 of them shits. Let me get 3 of them shits." Especially me, for example. I have a lot of kids. My boys are gonna play. I have more. It's an easier venue and an easier way to play and own multiple consoles, especially if they have it, a trade-in program, which we know Microsoft always does with new console releases. But the other thing is you got to look at is they're also giving you other options. Microsoft has that, Xbox All In program where you can buy it, even if you buy an X now, upgrade, pay like $20, $40 a month, and you have the console day one, with 2 years ago, 2 years Game Pass, and you have all the games day one that you want to play, right? With the exclusive being day and date. So for them to put the console to $400 is a high probability that they can do it because, like 100 stated before all of us, they have the money. They're in the position that they could do that and then some. Because, like 100 also said, and I've said many times before, you don't make money off hardware anyway. Not at least in the very beginning. You don't make nothing off the hardware until 4 years in, 3.5 years in. You don't make somewhat of money. It's always software and now services, right? So the fact that they can do it, I don't doubt it. Now, I think the only way that will play out is if Sony tries to be cute and go, we're going to put the console at $450, even though they know they're supposed to be selling it for $5 because they're losing money like crazy, because they're going to get bold and try to act like they got, the strudel longer than the other person, because it's all about their pride. Sony's always been about their pride, even though they're stupid in most of their decisions anyway. But and if they do that, I don't have a shadow of a doubt in my mind, especially what Phil said in the last interview. He said with a couple of people with CNN and other people, that they will go undercut them. I think they will, because I think they want to do to them what they did to them this generation. I really do. And you're already seeing signs of that with the fact that Phil said, "Oh, we will never do third-party deals." But
that they're gonna get it back.
Well, the fact that he said that remember Phil said we're not doing no more third-party deals, and boom, already with this show that they showed 12 games, 10 gameplay for 12 of those games, and I think 5 or 4 of those games are going to be Xbox One exclusives. They're not even going to the other console because Microsoft is either funding or because they feel that X is the only hardware capable in the console space to handle it. Obviously PC, but we're not talking about PCs as console people. So before you go say the stupid comment, that's not what we're talking about. So that's how
what the dude from Scorn. He said what? He said Microsoft came to them.
Mm-hmm.
And said,
beautiful article, yeah.
Because I'm glad you sent it. I don't know why it got you muted on my my app.
No,
and
it's okay.
I saw Kay Mega say something. So I was at work Friday,
and
I was bored as hell. I read the whole thing. I usually don't read the whole thing.
Yeah,
and I read. They said we went with Microsoft because they didn't want us to change nothing.
Yeah,
they wanted exclusive rights. He said, and they said they got the marketing and they're giving us all the assets they have from the other studios.
Yes, sir. Meaning that other studios of Microsoft themselves can help them if they need help. That's what that means, people.
He said, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, and he said creative, 100% creative, full freedom. They said, we're not going to interfere. Nothing. You do whatever you want.
I'm sorry, PlayStation fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. So yeah, you're absolutely right, and I'm glad I was able to send it out and you guys see it. I also have one from the people from Medium, the same thing. Another one. I don't know if I put it out, but I'm gonna put it out later on tonight or tomorrow, so you guys can see it if you didn't see it.
DM me that one or text it to me because
I will. I will.
You and Dorian muted for some reason because he said something today, and I can go look at it. Like say you said something and somebody tagged it, I can go.
Well, you gotta remember, 100. Yeah, but remember, you got to have me some type of options on, because since people always constantly attacking me. Yeah, since people always constantly attacking me, you're gonna go crazy. They drive you phone.
I probably what you call it. I probably muted the conversation.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So I gotta go find the conversation that I muted.
I can't get mad at you because of that shit. Anybody that follows me, good luck, because you're going to get
I got tagged in something today, and I'm like, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm sitting here watching Inception.
Exactly.
I'm watching.
And I'm always getting attacked. Dude, I'm always getting attacked. You know how much lovers I got out there? You know how much fans and lovers I got out there? Everybody's a trend. Chris's grandma always giving the ass whooping. But listen, So that's my thought on that, right? Of the price, and then my
Boy, y'all
these
got
guys, these guys don't understand, Tuck. That shit just makes me stronger. It doesn't
well,
bother me. I
Yo,
love it.
yo, you got to do it like this. They love you, bro.
They love me.
Yeah,
Good. What is it, Bone? What you said?
they love.
Bad press is good press, right?
Yeah, they love
I
you,
take it
but
all.
they want to kill you.
So listen
Yeah.
now, because I don't want to be too windy, because we're already going long, and I want to hit the last topic that I had in mind. If I miss anything, you guys want to put anything else after that, you're more than welcome.
I will.
But what I want to say was also, now as far as the demo thing, that proposition as well, also that would be wonderful. Only because I think it would be more beneficial than non-beneficial, if you know what I mean by that. But at the same time, I understand that asking for that or that type of thing from developers is really hard, because they got to set it up in the ecosystem, put it on. If it's a multiplayer, they got to put it on PlayStation, and if it's on Xbox or Nintendo Switch too, they got to put it on both those consoles, whatever. So I do see it being hard. Now, if it does happen in any way, shape, or form, I kind of feel it would probably be with the big dogs. Like we'll probably get maybe a demo from Ubisoft, from Valhalla, because they have the money, they have the resources, and they have the capital to spend and to put to something like that. Because it's been done before. Because remember, we got that what the fuck was it? Lost Planet demo that very same day on E3 from Capcom in the 360 area years ago. The very same day, hours later, and that was amazing because we got to play it. That sold a lot of people on the game. Many people were hyped. Many people bought it, and the game did well. That's why they did 3 sequels. So I see it as a good marketing tool to hype people up. But since we're living in an era, and especially in this generation, where we have too many sensitive people out here, and too many little girly girls, and take everything uh, to another extreme. I could understand also a lot of people's point and 100's point that it might do more harm than good, because these people complain. But remember, these developers, they have to know when somebody's talking from the heart, and you can kind of tell by the stupid freaking feedback, or they're just trying to troll, because a lot of them just say dumb stuff, and you're like, my dude, look how they're saying all this dumb shit about the
Well,
show.
I'll put it this way: if you do it, you NDA their asses.
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah.
When I got Sea of Thieves, I got NDA. Don't say nothing. Don't show nothing. Don't talk about.
Hmm.
I talk about it in code. I mean, I could talk about it, but I couldn't get real specific with it.
Right.
Yeah. Certain NDAs is different. So some of them you can talk about the game, but you just can't show the game. That's the most common.
Right. Yeah. And I think, or 100, or if you say something, we could take legal actions, since we're making it available to everybody. Yeah. Whoever does anything and say anything, we're going to take.
Yeah, but they're going to go. You're going to have these little small ass publications going to get all into their feelings and all that other shit.
100 is the world we live in, dude. You can't avoid that.
They ain't going to be happy. They're not going to be happy.
They can't stop living because of the little bums.
If you like in an Xbox preview program. And you do this and this and that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right.
But that's why I get a lot of my. That's why I get a lot of my. That is
a very good idea. Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
What I be playing
in the program.
Yeah, they don't see what I'm playing. Right. Now I get a bunch of little indie, but I've been in. People like, well, why you ain't played Bleeding Edge? Because I've been playing Bleeding Edge since E3.
Right. Exactly.
I play Sea of Thieves. Why you ain't play? Because I play Sea of Thieves when you couldn't even stream it.
Yeah, well, you couldn't even stream it, right? Mm-hmm.
Because of what? Because that's why I get mad at people. Like, you believe these people and they don't play these games. Sometimes these games takes 20 minutes to play to get into it.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't like that genre, you just don't like that genre. Don't mean I don't like turn-based RPGs. You see me shitting on them?
Yeah.
I just don't like them.
Yeah. But I mean, if to be honest, or to be fair, rather, when people play games, even in demo form, usually is a game that interests them. Because I've got how many games we haven't gotten for free through Game Pass, through the preview program, and I won't touch it for a shit and a stick. No, hell no. I'm not gonna do that shit. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Um, so but that idea that you said is actually a good idea. I don't think that's a bad idea for people that want to try it, like, especially on the Xbox ecosystem. If you're on the preview program, you're allowed to download the demo. That's actually not a bad idea. That's actually not a
And
bad, because they
you
could
can give them
NDA you.
feedback.
Yeah.
I get feedback. Like I said, I have a game. I got to get feedback. Feedback. I played it, but some of them games they all don't be hits. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Every game don't come out be hit. But I'm
Right.
gonna give them
Right.
a little good chance. Sometimes I'll be too intoxicated. I don't feel like playing it.
Well, look. At the end of the day, though, if they do it again, I feel that it will be the big companies that could afford to do it. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing to let people experience, especially since not everybody could go to E3. And it's true what 100 was saying is that most people that go to E3 is people that are hardcore or that could afford it. It's not an easy thing to do. You need to have money too because it's expensive. But if they're able to do it some way, somehow with a few titles, not maybe a lot, but a few, that would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say nah, fuck that.
I'll give it to you with the big boys like Assassin's Creed come out with a demo or something like that.
Right, right.
Oh yeah.
I see
I
that
can
as
see
more
that day
plausible.
one.
You see what I'm saying,
Yeah,
100? I see that as more plausible.
Madden will
Right,
probably have a demo.
right,
When
right.
EA come
hmm
out, something like that. Yeah, but like
The smaller guys,
yeah,
probably not so.
no,
No.
No, not
hmm
the smaller
like
guys.
I said,
Right.
yeah,
But the big dogs, yeah.
because they can
Yeah.
just give you because they're already showing. Think about this: a lot of these people already got these games already.
Right.
And you can play them. And thinking about it is, like I said, if you do it that way, you can NDA these people, and if they say something, uh, and without saying without your consent, you can go legal action on their ass, even though
That's
they
right.
broke.
That's right. You're so stupid. Look, I'm gonna get into the last subject that I had, and then if you guys, like I said, have anything else that I might have missed or that you want to talk about, feel free to bring it up. Because this is not a show of dictatorship. I'm just a host doing my show with my brothers that I love very dear and near to my heart, and I just we're rocking out. Anyway, uh, limited runs. They do physical copies of games that are basically most of the time, 90% of the time, only available digitally, right? And for a very long time, they've been doing these games, especially this generation. And even though the game will be available on the Xbox One, they do not make games that are physical for the Xbox console. And when people have asked them, myself included, and multiple times, why, they play the blame game. Ask Microsoft. They don't want us to do it because they want a certain amount. Now, most of us out here, we know, you have a brain that if you buy more in a business in a bulk, you have to charge less. It's called bulk buying. And if you buy less, you got to pay more. So I've had the always mindset and I feel that limited run is just being greedy and they do shicey things. And a lot of people have felt that way with them with some other things because some of their games show up in places like Walmart. I mean, Best Buys. And they said it was a limited run after the fact. And I'm so glad to say that two outlets came out, one from the UK and one from America that partnered with Amazon, and they're making a Streets of Rage physical copy. And this not may apply to 100 and to talk too much because they like more digital. But for those who like physical copies, I think it's going to be a wonderful option, or it is a wonderful option. But I still want to hear their thoughts on it. And they basically said, showed to everybody that limited run is full of shit because they're making a Streets of Rage Xbox copy. Because remember, this is based off a pre-order system. So there's no way that you could really lose because it's based off pre-order. If 100 people pre-order on Xbox, you really can't lose. Even if you make more, you could always sell it on another place like an Amazon or Best Buy. You can make a deal with them and they pick up your stock. That's how it's always been. But anyway, I'll start with you, Ghost. What do you think? They've been saying all this time, no, you can't make none. And bow, two companies come in the UK, and these are region-free games, meaning anybody anywhere could buy it from any place in the world, and they can play it on their system because the CDs are region-free. For Streets of Rage physical for the Xbox One, which I think is a phenomenal.
I'm gonna have to pass on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to pass on this one.
You have no thoughts on it? You don't think it's a good thing? It's nice.
Should be nice. I didn't really look up on that right now.
Okay.
Some nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. Before I get ready to go to bed, to go to work, I
All
mean,
right.
chocolate chips right now, so I'm kind of mute.
Chocolate. Fuck it up then. Fuck it up.
You
What
did.
about you, Chuck? What do you think?
Well, I really don't have no comment on it either because I mean, like I said, all the games that I have ever have, I mean, all the games I have bought ever since I bought the Xbox One, besides Sunrise the Rome, that's the only damn game I bought physical. Everything else is digital, so I don't have no comment on it.
Okay, but I mean, you being liking the old school style games. I mean, it's nice that at least you know you have the option. I'm assuming, right?
I mean, it's good that you have the option, but
If it
And
come out,
finally,
I'm buying it.
and
Gotcha.
somebody came out and finally called out limited run on their BS. You know what I mean?
right. I mean, it's good that if you, I mean, it's good to have, but like I said, I do all my stuff digital, so I haven't bought a like I said, I haven't bought a physical disc since the Xbox One first came out. So that's the
Right.
last time I ever bought a physical disc, and
Right.
I really don't have no thoughts on that. But I will agree with you on that.
Right. Well, I mean, I should be honest. There's nothing wrong with that. What about you, my brother Bone? What you
Man.
think about that calling bullshit on unlimited run?
I mean, it's good because there's still a lot of people like you, my man Sega Man, and them be collecting. A lot of they want a physical copy of the game. It's cool that some people stepped up and said something like, "Hey, why we can't get this on this?" And they calling bull. But at the end of the day, that's them, and that's their company, and that's how they want to run it. And I can't tell them how to run their old cockamamie ass business. They want to cater to the hundreds of non-PlayStation playing fans and Switch, that's playing in handheld mode. That's 5% of the time.
Well, a lot of the reason why they put it on the Switch is because the Switch doesn't have a lot of storage capacity. And in order for you to buy that bigger memory, it's expensive. So the more cards you got to buy, you're looking at spending even more than you did for like an Xbox or a PlayStation, to be honest with you. So they kind of have no choice in buying it, physically because it's a little chip card. You don't have to install it within the memory of the game, of the system. You just play it right off the game of the little chip cartridge. So it makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
that little chip cartridge ain't it ain't cheap.
No, absolutely not. No.
But they're probably looking out the install base. Like, hey, look at the install base, listening to people like, okay, maybe we get a chance for them to buy it. That's what it is. And when they find out that, because a lot of people we was talking about it last night. A lot of people don't even don't know about Streets of Rage.
Well, this generation, especially, yeah.
But then when they start playing it, they're like, wow, this is fun.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's simple. If it ain't broke, no fix it. Ain't nothing wrong with tweaking it a little bit, little by little. You know what I'm saying? Kind of didn't play it it was a night. Sometimes you need something different than Call of Duty. You blowing everybody ass up all the damn time. It's something different. And that's why I told people I pay different because sometimes I'm just not in the mood.
Right.
To go in. And Streets of Rage is like a refresher because I remember Streets of Rage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was a Genesis head, And
it's an old school iconic IP. It's a very old school.
And I think what you call it has it. I think Sega Lord X got a nice little special on Streets of Rage.
Yeah, the years evolution.
Yeah, the years and the evolution. Like they needed Sega needed a beat 'em up like that
to fight against
the
Final Fight, Capcom.
Capcom and them, and they do it. And like I said, I enjoy Streets of Rage more. I enjoy, you know what I'm saying? Final Fight.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not because I'm hating on something. No, I just to me it was, I used to sit there and think about it. Even with the new game, people don't understand is they take stuff from all the games and put it together. Like when you fight a boss, that person used to be your super.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't. They would. You would know that. You like that was my super when you
Yeah,
play with
yeah.
legs.
Yeah, yeah. They
You
did a
know.
lot of homages
You know.
and nostalgias from the other games, connected it all together. They actually gave it a story, but it's good for the new gen so they could see other types of things, like you said, that they're not just so jaded with Call of Duty, Fortnite, or or the open world games, Assassin's Creed, the same thing over and over and over again. Because we lived in the era where it was the golden years. We had new types of genres and IPs all the time, all the
You
time. I
couldn't
mean,
catch up. That's why you only got games for Christmas or your
yeah,
birthday because it was
yeah,
so
yeah,
much shit coming out.
yeah, yeah. But we had mad diversity, is what I'm saying, Tuck. I mean, 100. We didn't have like we didn't get an Assassin's Creed every year. You see what I'm trying to say? If a company like Ubisoft made a game, they always made new games every year, like something new, something new idea, or something
Right.
fresh. did they did they borrow? Excuse me, guys. Did they borrow some of the mechanics? Yeah, they did, but we got fresh experiences. That's why we weren't worrying about. Oh my God, it got to look realistic. We were just it got engaged in the world, the characters. If the gameplay was tight, and the fun factor was there, and we just blew off and left. So in that case, I really think it's really good that Streets of Rage is getting a lot of accolades and is doing well, because that could lead to bigger and better things in the future. Possibly a more grounded, more realistic, more 3D style game. Especially that we have the technology now. It's not like before that the technology, just the limitation, it wasn't there, didn't allow it for it to happen. Especially with beat 'em ups, that one is a hard genre to translate in 3D. That's number one. And number two, it's a genre that pretty much to this point has been a dying genre, right? And in this generation, we got a lot more beat 'em ups than people even know, because they come out, you know, covert op, so to speak, like 100 says on the marketplace. Which I'm actually working on a quick plug. I'm working on a beat 'em up of this generation video, trying to put together a compilation. So for those that didn't know, to help you guys out. But I like the reason why I brought it up is because it's more about the principle that this company Limited Run has been doing this for so long, and then they blame Microsoft, saying, "Oh, it's their fault, it's their fault," playing the blame game, but yet never really explain themselves in detail why, right? But when the answer is really there, so it's nice to see that another company had the courage and put it out as an order-based system, and didn't go with that cheap escape or excuse of, "Oh, it's because Microsoft wants a certain amount of copies," right? To make it seem like they're greedy, because they're the monsters that have money that just want to be greedy all the time. And that's how I feel like they're treating Xbox. So I'm really
Man,
happy
it
that.
did not take these companies that long. They got uh I can't think of the damn word. They have buildings that just automated that just burn CDs in 5 minutes.
Right,
DVD,
right, right,
whatever. Come on,
right.
it's not that
Well,
hard.
they do.
I can
They got to pay like the artists, because they have certain arts. Some of them have
yeah, but you
steel
do that.
books
Yeah,
and
but
things
you
like that.
yeah,
The art book, the soundtrack, and
yeah, but
like
think
the
about
one
you
that I
get
got.
they should be already paid off.
Yeah, I'm
They
pretty
don't
sure
get
there's some,
they
right.
don't
There's some type of
now
deal and
they might get
proposition
a
Sega
little
did. Yeah.
they might get a little royalty. They might get a little royalty for a certain thing, but other than that, no, they should be paid off. You paid them up
Right.
front.
Yeah, they
So
get pretty. They
they
probably get
can't
paid up front. Hmm.
so you can't go off of that and then you see, like I said, you can see how many, you can just throw it out there. Like I say, people, like I said, it's people know Streets of Rage. The old people know Streets of Rage, and it wasn't like an expensive price either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, we got it because we got Game Pass.
Yeah, but it makes sense
But
for Game Pass 100, because Game Pass is an outlet where you discover games. It's there if you don't want to pay it, because people don't think they feel comfortable with the price, because they don't know the IP, because they don't know if it's going to be good. They go try it out, they like it, they possibly potentially buy it because they want to own it. Because us gamers, you know how we are. We like a game, we want to buy the motherfucker, whether it's on sale or regular price. If we like it, we're gonna buy it. We're gonna buy it. Okay, that's the
Yeah,
bottom
we
line.
are. Yeah, we
And you know that 100 because you always got your credit card paying for something always just like me.
Man.
you know,
no, no,
you
we
know how
get
it
it
is.
I ain't even been in that store. I ain't even been in that store today. I don't even want to go look in it.
So, it's
Because
like a
I see
disease.
something that catch
It's
my
a hobby.
attention.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
catch
yeah,
my attention. I'm like, you know what? Oh, it's for this. Let's go.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And then the new games that's in Game Pass. I
and
didn't
Bo,
download
you
it
know how
then.
you are.
Yeah,
You like
yeah, yeah.
the first thing you be saying, Bo, like hell. I don't need to be buying no more games. But every time you go to that damn store, you wind up buying 15 damn.
Man.
Yeah, and then he plays the cop out and blames me only. He goes, "It's Hebot's
Yeah, I'm
fault."
blaming Ebot. Yeah, because Ebot introduced me to the game. But,
Oh,
but he was like, hey, you see this? I'm like,
Right,
don't
right.
show me this. And I go in there like, I'm
yeah.
gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
get it right now. But no, it's that's how you know that's a gamer. Like, oh, you know what? Boom. Like that's what I'm talking about right there. Like,
right.
okay, that's
It's
up my
fun. Yeah, yeah. It's
and then
fun.
it's a lot of these indie games that's gorgeous.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's don't need 25 million people to work. You know what I'm saying? To work at it and play it. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Because some of these games are pretty look. I'm shocked like how they look
Oh, look
and
at
they
that new one
optimize.
for the X. That one Korean dude for
Oh yeah,
Bright.
yeah, that one.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and then
One dude.
he said that he's optimized on PC, but he's going to optimize it for the X,
That's crazy.
the Series
That's
That
X. He's
dude.
crazy.
going
That
to
dude got
make
talent
sure.
right there, bro. They need to pick him up. They got
Uh,
talent. So listen, my only thought, my final thought, not to cut you off, 100. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Um, the one little thing I do want to throw in there is we got to remember that physical medium could exist with digital because physical medium at the end of the day, like when we had the situation now that the online wasn't really working well, you could still play your games you have in physical, on your console, not have to worry about an internet connection. If somebody tries to get greedy one day and be like, no, we're taking the license away, they can never take, you don't have to worry about taking your digital license away and you can't play the game anymore. That's why I always said there's always room for both mediums, even though a lot of clauses and paperwork and little deals are being done to try to avoid that. I'm pretty sure because our future is going to get bigger with digital because it's just the way it is. It's just more convenient. It's a lot easier, better for developers. They make more money, and you cut off the middleman. You know, but I think still I truly believe in my heart, and not because I'm just a person that a big proponent that likes to support physical medium, but just for the fact that I think both of them can coexist. We still got people buying DVDs for Christ's sakes to this day. And if you look at a DVD and you look at a 4K, it should look like dog shit, but people still buy it. So yeah, it really does. Your eyes hurt. You really think that you lost vision when you look at a DVD after you got used to watching 4K. It's retarded.
Man.
It's crazy. That's how big the discrepancy and the difference is. So I feel that it's a good thing. I'm glad that somebody stepped up. And I hope this continues forward. I hope they do it with more games that come out only digital, that they offer to Switch and PlayStation, or Nintendo and PlayStation, let's say physical, so that people could have the options. Because the Xbox guys like to buy physical as well. Not maybe as much, or maybe not all, but there's still a nice amount, and they need to be taken care of too. I think it's only right. They like collecting just for the cover art, because that's somebody that's doing the work, and they appreciate that. It is what it is, but. Or just to hone it physically. So I think it's a good thing. Now, I don't know if you want to read any of the comments that were in the real quick before we leave, Ghost, or if you guys have anything else you want to talk about that you heard about.
No, I'm good. I gotta
What
get.
about
Yeah.
any? No,
Well,
read
you know what?
some of the comments from that were there, and we take off from there.
Mr. Kimmer put the PS5 production starts in June. We'll find out in July, August if it get delayed.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, we have other Zinc. What we know about Streets of Rage over here. I beat it about 15 times. Is that being it to death also? Shout outs to everybody in the comment section. We do had this one over here, Phase 114. If Microsoft has the marketing for that game, they should demand that 60 frames per second. And I do agree.
Yeah, they do. But again, there's a lot of other little clauses that we already talked about. Is they can't alienate that big audience they made this gen. That could be. I guarantee you, when Assassin's Creed comes out either next year or the following year after that, 2 years in, it'll only be for the next gen consoles. I don't have a doubt in my mind. They got to build the install base first. That's why. But he has a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You got a real good point.
Yep.
Now y'all know how I am. I'm gonna raise up fire like I always do. That's what I always do. Okay, you PS4 Pee-wee minds out there that's in this world. That's y'all also want down Xbox and all that stuff. Let me tell you right now, y'all can take the Last of Us 2.
Oh,
we all know what that game's all about. It's about whatever you want to call it. The little girly game and all that stuff, and Ghost of Tsushima, whatever that game. Enjoy them damn single players for the rest of the year, because as far as I'm concerned, I know your damn Xbox, your doggone PS4 ain't gonna have any more games. So that's the way I'm seeing it. I mean, I'm loving it. The less exclusive that they have now, the more I'm loving it. I want the console. I mean, I don't like I said, I don't want to see Sony go down, but these doggone Sony ponies, I love when they go down. Just something within me. So, I'm just gonna leave it at that. So if they want to raise the fuss at me, tell them to call me.
Hey, I ain't got a problem with ma'am.
So, because I got people saying, "Oh, the PS4 is this PS4." I said, "Man, whatever." I mean, I get into argument with people every day at work, and I say, "Y'all, I don't want to hear it. Go on with life. You just enjoy your last of us 2, and just enjoy it." So,
they spend more time talking about our console than they do their own. So,
yeah,
what does that tell you?
Well, it is what it is. They can enjoy whatever they want to enjoy, and that's it. But you know what, fellas, I now since I know how to get in. So is this thing better than you? What we doing now, is it better than YouTube?
What do you mean the actual system that
the
StreamYard?
Actual streaming that we doing today?
StreamYard, right?
Right.
Well, this is Ghost that paid for it. He did me the favor to let me host the show because the mixer wasn't working for me. So, yeah, that's basically but it's something you pay for, but it's actually a lot better than Hangouts. And I heard Hangouts came back, that you could actually use it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No, I just heard it right now from you, Hebot, and
I'll
try it next time to Hangouts.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I heard it's working again. That's what I heard.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's what I heard. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is StreamYard. This is something called StreamYard.
So how much do you pay for that? How much you pay?
I forgot, Tuck, to be honest with you. It's been a while. It's been a while.
You pay every month or what?
I think so, like every month or something.
It's automatic, right? You're paying automatic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I got to check on it. Now that you're speaking of that.
Right. All right, my ex-body brothers. Go ahead. What do you want to say, Tuck? I'm sorry.
Well, that's cool. I mean, I like it because it wasn't no interfered. I mean,
yeah,
it was no botching or nothing like that. I haven't heard a bot at all.
The only reason you heard me get out is because it's Ghost that's hosting it as far as controlling it. But right. I'm the host of the show, right? So that's the only reason you saw me. That's the only reason why you see that I dropped off, because when my phone rang when you called, it automatically kicks you out. But as far as when you're in it live, it works beautifully. It you really don't have. So far, with me and Ghost experience, we never had any problems.
Yes, we don't have. No
Oh, that's sweet. I mean, something like that, I wouldn't mind paying for either.
Yeah, it works nice. Well, I mean, we could always chip in and help each other, help Ghost pay for it if we always use it too. So
we can do that.
I think that would be fair, in my opinion, anyway.
You got a PayPal account, Ghost?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do have one.
you know you got to talk to not to put you on the spot, Ghost. But you know you got to talk to Mr. Tuckmaster, to his professional secretary, his lovely wife Kim. And she does all of Ghost.
Tuck's asking bad questions and we on air. I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on? He's just asking questions like I'm like,
hey man, Ghost has no idea because the secretary is the one who takes care of the business.
And I think everybody in here that's married, our wives are our secretary.
Yeah, that's for sure. Without them,
because I'll be lost without my wife. I'm telling you that right now.
That's right. Ain't no shame in the game. Ain't no shame in that game, brother.
Oh yeah. So just let us know how much it is, man, and I wouldn't mind chipping on that. You know, you paying for that.
Yeah,
we see.
Yeah, for sure. So, yo, guys, listen, we've been on long enough. It's been 2 hours, but it's been 2 really fun hours, I hope, to everybody, the viewers, to you guys, my brothers, my ex-body and brothers. Thank you for joining me. And I know we don't have really a lot of good, deep topics, but we had some, you know, at least I thought we did.
We just went through talking and speaking our mind. That's what
that's what it's about, bro. That's what it's about.
Other podcasts is doing the same exact thing, my brother.
Well, at least we're not just rebuttaling with John. Actually, give you insightful stuff from our thoughts, not just from articles, obviously.
Yeah.
So, anyway, guys, it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for joining us. We got next.
Can I say this one more thing? I'm
absolutely. Go ahead. Absolutely.
All of us need to get back together doing this at least once a week.
Well, that's the idea, Chuck. That's the idea. Between me, Ghost, and our show and his show, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I can be the guest any double time, so.
You see, he's such a show off. You see that?
Because I talked to Ghost, and Ghost asked me, "Do I want to do a show?" But he never did get back in contact with me.
Right.
And then the next thing I know, y'all doing a show. I said, "Oh man!" I said, "You wait until I talk to Ghost."
And who's on the show now?
Who's on the show now? Exactly. We didn't forget about you, Chuck. It's just sometimes we do things right off the hip and we forget, and it takes too long. Things are not set up, but we don't forget about it.
100, I had to send. Look, I sent 100. I sent it to the When I throw it in the room, Xboxlive at the dark. That's for all.
Right.
For everybody. You in there? You in the Xboxlive at the dark? When I put that in there, that's for you. I'm not gonna keep hitting everybody individual. I had to hit 100 individual because the Xboxlive at the dark. He can't see it.
Right. That's what he was saying. Yeah. He said he must have muted it or something. Yeah. That's what he was saying.
Yep.
Okay. Well, y'all,
my bro, Spartan's my bro, all of y'all, man. If I had it, I would have like 15 guys up in here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And to the viewers, my dudes, thank you for stopping by. The Zing, Mr. Kima, Dirk Griggity, Clay Simmons, all the guys that stopped by. Whoever stopped by, thank you so much for the support. Because without you guys, there's no point in even doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So thanks again. We got next. Your host Hebot is signing off. My brother Ghost and my brother Tuck, please go and support their channels because, well, Tuck doesn't do it anymore, but Ghost does. But he still has a channel. You could always check it out. He does some funny stuff. And me, as you know, Hebot on YouTube. And, it's much appreciated. You don't have to, but if you do, remember, I consider you part of my family. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.
To hit that.
See you.
Share this out.
Yes. Share it out and hit the like button, please. Until the next one. Peace. God bless.